Title: Whispers in the Walls. The old Maplewood Asylum had long been abandoned, its crumbling walls enveloped in the overgrown embrace of wild vines and tangled roots. Forgotten stories seeped from the bricks like tears from a weary soul. 5 friends, Lila, Sam, Max, Jamie, and Rosa, stood at its rusted gate, exchanging nervous glances, their breaths visible in the crisp autumn air. "Are we really doing this?" Max, with his perpetually wild hair, asked, pushing his glasses up the bridge of his nose. Jamie glanced back at the asylum, her heart hammering in her chest. "Come on, it'll be fun. It's just an old building." "Fun? Sure, if you like risking your neck in a place where people went mad." Sam, always the realist, folded his arms and shivered. "I'm in," Lila said, determination set in her hazel eyes. "We can't turn back now." Together, they climbed through the dilapidated gate and through the forgotten threshold, the chill of the autumn air thickening as the sun began to sink. Light flickered through broken windows, casting eerie patterns on the floor. Inside, dust motes danced in the shafts of fading sunlight, and silence enveloped them. The air felt heavy, almost tangible. They wandered through hallways lined with peeling paint and rusted gurneys. Whispers echoed around them, sometimes seeming like a figment of their own minds. A trick played by the wind, or something more sinister. "Did you hear that?" Rosa whispered, her voice trembling. "It's just the wind," Lila replied, though uncertainty flickered in her eyes. They stumbled upon an old common room, its walls dotted with cracked mirrors that reflected distorted images. Max looked into one and jumped back. "Whoa, look at my face." Jamie laughed, but her laughter faltered as the shadows in the room twisted unsettlingly around them. Lila felt a chill crawl up her spine. Something about this place felt wrong. Suddenly, the air changed. A flicker of movement caught Sam's eye, followed by a soft murmuring that grew louder. "What is that?" he asked, looking around frantically. "Guys, let's get out of here," Rosa urged, her voice barely a whisper, fear etched on her face. "No, wait," Lila said, curiosity overpowering her fear. "Let's see what's happening." Rosa rolled her eyes, but Sam hesitated. "Okay, but just for a minute." As they followed the murmur deeper into the asylum, they found themselves in a room filled with empty chairs, their legs streaked with dried blood, testimony of long-gone patience. The whispers turned to faint cries, wrapping around them, drawing them in. Help us, they seemed to call. Suddenly, the whispers escalated into a cacophony, voices stopping and starting as if trapped in their own madness. Lila clutched her head, overwhelmed by the chaos. "Stop," Jamie shouted, trying to block out the sounds, but it was no use. The walls around them seemed to loom and pulse like a living thing. "Get out of my head," Lila screamed, collapsing to her knees as images of distorted faces flashed before her. A decaying woman with hollow eyes, a man laughing in despair. She could feel them clawing at her mind, their anguish spilling into her. "Lila," Sam shouted, rushing to her side. But as he reached out, the floor beneath him cracked, pulling him down into shadowed depths. "Sam," Lila cried, reaching toward him, but the shadows twisted and contorted, stretching themselves to her. "Help." Then all at once, the whispers fell silent, replaced by a deep, disembodied voice that echoed through the room. "They can't be saved, but you must stay. You must stay." In a sudden burst of adrenaline, Lila sprang to her feet, her heart pounding. "We need to go, now." She turned to the group, frantic, but Jamie and Rosa weren't moving. Their eyes glazed over, as if they were entranced by something unseen. "Guys, snap out of it," Lila shouted, but they just stood there, mouths slightly agape, listening to the madness swirl around them. Max grabbed Jamie, shaking her. "Come on, we have to leave." As the shadows clawed at them, pulling Lila and her friends closer to despair, Lila felt something shift within her, a glimpse of clarity amidst the madness. "If we hold hands, we can break the spell." Quickly, she reached for Sam, then Rosa, then Jamie. On 3, 1, 2, 3, they grabbed hold and pulled against the oppressive force trying to wrestle them apart. And then, like a candle flickering back to life, the shadows recoiled. The whispers became wails, enveloping the room in a howling tempest. Clinging tight, they dashed toward the door, the walls crashing in upon themselves as the asylum rejected their escape. Breathless, they burst outside, gasping for fresh air. The sunlight stung their eyes, but it felt like salvation. They turned back, looking at the asylum that loomed behind them, quiet now, its secrets trapped within its walls. "I felt them," Lila whispered, breaths still ragged. "They were suffering." "We need to forget this place," Sam said, trembling, glancing back one last time. "Or it'll never leave us." The friends nodded, walking away together, though each carried that chilling whisper inside, the haunting reminder of the minds lost, and the shadows left behind. No one spoke of that day again, but the memory would remain, whispered like a secret in their hearts, forever tied to the ruins of Maplewood Asylum.